welcome to InSight UT. I'm Rebecca Illig.
I'm Will Hale.
This is the final InSight for the fall semester, which we're really excited about because that means the semester is almost over. And Will, I noticed that you shaved. Was that for today's show?
I was growing out my beard for No Shave November. November's over, so I shaved it. Right before, I shaved it all off, and I had a mustache and a kind of a Tim Hudson kind of thing. Power tee, as I like to call it.
I thought that looked really nice.
I just had that for about a day, and now I've completely shaved it off. But yeah, Malia and I have a story about snowboarding coming up.
And I'm going to be talking about combating stress for your final exams.
And as always, we have Cliff with sports.
Now we're going to go see what Will and Malia have for us.
Today we're going to talk to you guys about snowboarding, and so Malia, what are we going to tell them about?
We're going to talk about balance and technique, specifically like how to carve down the mountain and how to do the little S thing, and locations where you can find really good snowboarding places around like North Carolina and Tennessee, and maybe even travel up to West Virginia, and some equipment like bindings, boots, and boards, and we will show you our awesome boards that we have here today. We're excited about that. So,
all right, let's give it a shot.
The first thing that you have to learn is the power slide, and this is essential because when you're first learning, it's really hard to control your speed down the mountain because your feet are connected. It's not like skiing where you can spread your feet apart and go slower. So what you want to do is take the board and swing it perpendicular to the slope and rock back a little bit on your heels. If you rock back too far, your board will get caught in the snow and your feet will get slipped out from under you. So you want to rock back just enough to where your board creates friction against the slope, and you'll see like a little bit of snow like catch up underneath it, and you can bring yourself to a stop. And then you can turn your board back down and then go back to a stop, and that's like basically the first thing that you should learn when you're snowboarding.
Another thing that's very important to snowboarding is carving. And carving allows you to do an S pattern when you're going down the slope. If you don't do an S pattern, you're just going to get going too fast. And the S pattern is what allows you to stay in control when you're going down the mountain.
And in order to do the S pattern, you need to lean forward on the balls of your feet and rock backward on the heels of your feet in order to create friction with the snow.
Yes. And there's also something called an endo board, which allows us to stay balanced.
And so if you want to like train a little bit before you get on the slopes, if you're a little bit nervous about it, you can try one of these things out.
And it's a new technique, but we're pioneers in this field. So just check this out. Next, we're going to be telling you guys about equipment, snowboarding equipment. You have the board, the bindings, and the boots. So
those are your three main things that you need. As far as the board goes, you can have a narrow board, a wide board, but your board needs to be at least as tall as your chin is, if not as tall as your nose is, in order for it to be effective for your height.
That's the rule of thumb. So if you're left foot forward, that means you're regular, and if you're right foot forward, that means you are goofy. That's just snowboard lingo.
And you need to be able to know which one you are, so you can set your bindings that way, so you're not going down the mountain and the right side of your board is going down the mountain.
Your front foot is going to be turned a little bit out to the outside, so it's very important.
Also, there are two types of bindings. There are clip-ins and these bindings that you see that
strap-ins.
Strap-ins, I suppose they're called.
Yeah.
And also, when you're wearing your boots, which is the third item, they need to be really snug on your foot, if not like a size smaller, size and a half smaller than what you usually wear.
So I have been to, I've been to Colorado once, and I went to Breckenridge. And
Will.
I know, instead of different slopes out there, they have peaks. So they had like multiple peaks, and that was really crazy.
Well, if you're not rich or like a poor college student, and you want to go,
I hitchhiked out there,
and you want to go somewhere like this side of the Mississippi, I would suggest Snowshoe, West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia is a very good place.
It's about 4 hours away, and it has really the best skiing unless you want to go up to like Vermont or New Hampshire, somewhere like that. I would say go to West Virginia Snowshoe. It's unique because it's got all of everything, like where you get off the lifts, it's like the top of the mountain. So like nothing's really at the bottom of the mountain, which is different from usual ski resorts.
Yeah. Some closer locations are going to be Ski Beach, which is in Banner Elk, North Carolina, and also Sugar Mountain, which is in Banner Elk, North Carolina. They both are pretty similar, and The prices vary a little bit, but they're very similarly priced.
Yeah, I would say like if you're going anywhere like that you want to just go for a day or night skiing, I would suggest like the best places you could go within driving distance from Knoxville are Beach or Sugar.
But even closer than that is Gatlinburg, and Gatlinburg is just like 45 minutes away from here. It's pretty cheap, and I think the season passes are the cheapest that I know about, I think.
Yeah, and it's cool because when all the snow melts away, there's some like nice white turf underneath that's like faux snow. So.
It's not the best because the altitude is not very high, but I mean it's the closest. So.
Well, thanks, guys. Those were some helpful hints, Will. I liked it, but
Thanks.
I don't know if I'll ever need them. I haven't been snowboarding yet. I don't know
Well,
if
you
I
should
ever
definitely
will.
go. It's a lot of fun. So
It looks like fun. I'll have to
And
try it out.
it's very affordable. So
Really?
not really. But, up next, we have a story about combating stress.
The first couple weeks of December mean one thing: final exams. If you're not stressing out right now, then you're probably not a college student. Hodges Library and Starbucks are filling up as we speak with stressed out college students. But don't worry, because today I have some helpful hints to keep you from stressing too much. The first major stress contributor that many college students are guilty of is procrastination. Psychologists Diane M. Tice and Roy F. Baumeister have found that procrastination and last-minute cram sessions lead to poorer health and lower grades. So start studying now and maybe avoid the stress that comes along with procrastination. You can also combat stress by prioritizing. Figure out what classes are most important to you and focus on those. It is so necessary to maintain focus. If you've been studying all year long with your headphones on and the music blaring, it just might be time to turn that stuff off. A final stress-eliminating suggestion is to take breaks. No one is cut out for a marathon study session, no matter how hard you've been training all semester. That's all the stress tips I have for you. For more, see Stephen Townsend's article on tnjn.com. Good luck with those exams and try and stay stress-free. Speaking of stress, how about that football game this weekend?
I know I was really stressed, but then I just drowned my sorrows with orange Jello shots, so I felt better.
At least they were orange.
But up next we have Cliff with sports.
Almost. The word of the week here at UT as the Vols football squad falls to LSU 21-14 in the SEC championship game. A late interception returned for a touchdown by Jonathan Zenon off of an Eric Ainge pass to Quentin Hancock does end the Vols as they led in the fourth quarter of that game, had a chance to win it. Ainge, another interception in the red zone, but I am here to tell you, not all his fault, and you can check out my thoughts on that. Tennessee will go on to the Outback Bowl to play Wisconsin, as last year in the Outback Bowl they played Penn State and fell in that one. Hopefully better fortunes this year in Orlando. LSU, on the other hand, takes advantage of losses by Missouri and West Virginia, will play in the national championship game against Ohio State in New Orleans in January. You can check out my thoughts for those games, and I'll also tell you which games to watch for other than the New Year. Of course, everyone knows to watch the New Year's Day games and after that, but before that, which games you don't want to miss and which games you can go out and do some other stuff while those are on that don't matter at all. I'll give you a little hint. Florida Atlantic, Memphis. Just don't even worry about it because no one cares. That's all I got today. Now back to those guys to wrap everything up.
Thanks, Cliff.
We hope you guys have a great Christmas break.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah,
Happy Kwanzaa.
and have a Happy New Year.
We're really going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss you.